Hi there, Disney friends. So welcome back to my channel again. This will be the last vlog for my first solo trip last January. I don't have a ton of vlog clips for this episode, and I'll explain that more as I get into it. So it's going to be more of this sit down trip report style vlog rather than an actual vlog. If I have any videos, I'll input them, but I really don't think I have that many. I may have one clip, and it's really not anything great. So I'm just going to talk. I'll put pictures in where I have them, and we'll just have this more of a sit down style trip report vlog, and then I'll talk a little bit more about what I'm thinking about going forward for the channel at the end of the video, and you guys can leave your thoughts and stuff in the comments below when the video's over. Okay, so when we left off, it was day 6 and we had come home from Hollywood Studios, and I believe in some of the sit down bits of that video I mentioned that I was starting to feel a little off and just not the best. And basically then the morning of day 7, I woke up and had a really bad sore throat, and that happens to me every once in a while. I wake up and my throat feels like weird or whatever, and then I'll drink a little bit and then usually that clears it up. It didn't clear it up that time. So I'd been up for maybe an hour or two and dealing with my sore throat situation, and was starting to realize like nothing was working to make it stop. And I was a little sad because it was actually supposed to be a really great day, and I woke up just feeling yucky. I didn't really feel it. I wasn't feeling sick. I wasn't feeling run down. I wasn't feeling tired. My throat just hurt, but I knew that was a sign that the inevitable was coming, and that probably by the next day I was not going to feel good, and that this would probably make day 7 my last like decent day in the parks for the trip. So I think that's kind of part of the reason I didn't vlog that much, because I was just like, gotta do everything I can before I really don't feel good tomorrow. So basically that was kind of how the morning got started. It was supposed to be a great day though, because it was supposed to be my princess day. I had a breakfast booked at Cinderella's Royal Table. I had a character couture makeover booked for early in the afternoon, and it was just supposed to be a really great day, and then I just felt horrible. And just keep that in mind as I go through some of this, because a lot of the stuff I'm going to say is not great experiences for the last 3 days, but I always want to, I always take negative reviews with a grain of salt and still give them my own try, because there's a lot of things that people haven't liked that I've liked, and a lot of these things I'd like to go back and try again when I'm not feeling so miserable and freaking out about the fact that I was getting sick, and see how much that impacted my experience with them, and see if I like them a little bit more giving it another go. Okay, so anyway, moving on. So we started with breakfast at Cinderella Royal Table, and that was again a pre-park opening. I think I got one right at 8, which was, the reservation for that was a lot easier to get than I expected. And I had a reservation for that right at 8, and while I was waiting in line to get in, I made it, I checked in, got through the tap styles, all that stuff. And while I was waiting to get in, my dad actually called me, which was really nice. And so he pretty much walked me to breakfast that morning, which is just kind of fun. He was like, oh, I just wanted to talk to you. And I was like, oh yeah, they just let us into the park, and we were, so we walked up Main Street together. And last year he didn't have an iPhone, but now he does. So maybe if I do another solo trip or something, I'll have to actually FaceTime him up Main Street or something. But yeah, so that was fun. And then then I got to breakfast, and the line was super short, because again, I was super early. But I got all checked in. I did stop for a few pictures, I think. You'll see them here if I did. And so then I went up for breakfast. The whole experience of CRT was really kind of nice. So I walked in, one thing I wasn't, and there was one thing I wasn't expecting. So I got checked in, they took me inside. You meet Cinderella first. So I got in a little line, and they called my name pretty much right away, because I was one of the only people there. But so I got in, they take you in to meet Cinderella first, and I stood in line a little while for that. But one thing I was not expecting when I got inside there was she was in her winter outfit, which I've never seen Cinderella in her winter outfit, so that was kind of fun and different and something I didn't expect. I had also purchased a dress from Torrid, which you're seeing in all the pictures. That was a Cinderella dress, which I bought with the intention of wearing to this, for this day. So, and wearing it to see the Cinderella's Royal Table and all that kind of stuff. I bought it like, yep, this is what's happening, this is what's going on. So Cinderella liked my dress. The room that they take you in for pictures is actually really nice and really pretty. And the castle's gorgeous inside and out, apparently. So then you go up there, and then they take you up this like staircase, which is totally like a spirally, like castle-y staircase, and I think that was like half the magic. Well, I should say, they don't take you up there, they just send you up there. They just go, okay, go up the stairs and have a good time and do all your things and whatever. And then you get to the top, and then they seat you. And they sat me like right by the window, so I was like looking out over Fantasyland, and I was texting pictures to everybody like, hello, look at my view this morning, like just hanging out in Cinderella's castle, It is really small, which I think is why reservations can be so hard to get, because it is a really small restaurant. But yeah, it's tiny, little baby restaurant. But I was in, a nice little window spot. It was gorgeous. The, decor, everything was really pretty. The food was okay. Wasn't a big fan of the, they start, like many of the breakfasts at Disney, they start you with like a little pastry plate situation. And that wasn't so great. But I don't necessarily like fruit pastries. Like, I'd rather just have like, I don't know. But I'm not a big fan necessarily, and I think that's what part of the reason I just didn't like them. But I did try them all. And the princesses were like okay. I wouldn't say it was the best interaction I ever had, but I think I've mentioned before that for whatever reason on this trip I really struggled with face characters. Like I could not like get a conversation going with them. Like I would just kind of like freeze up whenever I saw them face characters, which is weird. But that's what happened. So the character interactions weren't the best. I also, again, probably some of it was like I was not feeling the bestest either, which was probably not helping the situation like at all. But yeah, so it was a great time, and I got my little wishing star and my wand, and it was good, and my server was great, but nothing, I wouldn't say it's necessarily something to write home about, and it's not something that I feel like, oh yeah, I have to do this again, like, this time. Like, I'd like to give it another shot just because I know I wasn't feeling the best, but at the same time, it's definitely not something where it's like, oh, I have to go back and do this, like, now. There's other breakfasts and stuff that I haven't done and want to do, or other places that I'd go back to before I'd go back to CRT. I obviously haven't done lunch or dinner there. The lunch and dinner menus just aren't my jam, not my deal. So, yeah, I don't know what else to say. I'm just dragging that out now. Okay, next, after breakfast, I had 2 fast passes for meet and greets with Mickey and Minnie and Tinkerbell. I went to Town Square Theater and did that. So, basically, this was pre-PhotoPass boxes, so I have actually a few decent pictures. Tinkerbell was okay. She wasn't as good as the last time I saw her, and I almost felt like I got the adult meeting a character brush off kind of thing from her a little bit. But again, I was sick, and I was very preoccupied with the fact that, like, I couldn't shake this sore throat thing, because, like, by this point, I'm, like, starting to go, okay, like, for real, if breakfast didn't get rid of this, like, you're getting sick. And then I was starting to get a little, like, run down and stuff after having been awake for a while, and doing things and stuff. So I think a lot of this day especially was just me being anxious about the fact that I was getting sick and knowing I was going to be sick for the flight home and all that kind of stuff, because I had been sick on another trip to Disney for the flight home just with a cold. I didn't get like stomach sick, and it was not like the flight home was horrible, so I was just like so nervous at this point because I'm like, oh my gosh, I could feel so bad for the flight home, and there was stuff going on at home and I didn't want to really come home and bring germs home, so it was a little stressful. But yeah, so I just think that might have not helped a little at all. But Mickey and Minnie were great again. I had actually originally thought this was going to be the only time I was going to meet them, but it wasn't. You know, I managed to meet them several times before that, and Minnie loved my little princess dress, so that was nice. And then after that, I headed off to the Grand. I think I hung out on Main Street for a little bit while longer, just because I had a little extra time to hang out, and then I headed off to the Grand Floridian to do my character couture makeover, which again wasn't as lovely as I expected, but again I wasn't feeling great, so engaging my stylist wasn't happening, and I just wasn't feeling it. And like I said, by now it's like getting a little later in the day and I was starting to feel a little bit more crummy and yucky and like just yuck. And my throat was really starting to bother me, and so that might have been preventing the talking too, because my throat hurt. But there was these two girls next to me, like maybe they were like 13, 14-ish, and their mom, and they were getting them done too, and they were having the time of their life, but I just was like not in the mood to engage. So again, this is something I may try again later, but it's not something I'm necessarily like jumping out of my skin to do, because I was really happy with the results. I loved how my makeup looked, and I loved my hair. Like, my hair was gorgeous. Like, next time I may even just do my hair. And I'm not a huge fan of makeup anyway. Like, I'd rather just have someone play with my hair and do something cute with my hair than do my makeup. So I think if I ever did it again, I would probably just do the hairstyle one. I thought the makeup would be fun, but it was okay it was good, but I don't really necessarily feel the need to do the whole makeup situation again, but I'd definitely go and let them play with my hair again. But we'll see. I haven't quite, I kind of went to almost do like a Mickey's Not So Scary trial, because I'm thinking about doing it. I have a potential, very, very potential Mickey's Not So Scary trip planned in about 2 or 3 years, and I, 2 years, in 2021 for the 50th, and I wanted to see if I liked it enough to maybe do that for Mickey's Not So Scary night, which I think I would do, and I think I'd probably do the makeup then. But if I was just going to do it as like another treat to myself like it was this time, I think I'd just do the hair version. But yeah, I liked it other than that, and I've obviously picked my character to be Cinderella since that was the dress I had going on that day. But I loved my hair, and I so wish I could have done that to myself. I just got mine cut, so now it's really short. But yeah, I wish I could like put my hair up like that because it was gorgeous. Okay. Then after that, I had a fast pass to do, I was lucky this night. So my dinner reservation was early. It was at like 5 o'clock, 5 or 5:30. And that was good because I was starting to feel yuck, and how many times can I say that? I should put like a counter in the corner or something of how many times I said I felt bad. But I had just a little bit of time to kill, and I had some fast passes, so I went back to Magic and basically did a whole like bunch of pictures and stuff around the castle with my makeup and stuff. I stopped at like every photo pass photographer I saw, and then went and did I had fast passes to meet the princesses. Well, I had a fast pass to meet Cinderella and Rapunzel. Yes, I had a fast pass to meet Cinderella and Rapunzel. And then I had decided to just wait in line and meet Tiana and Elena again. So basically I did that, and Cinderella fussed over my outfit. All of them fussed over my outfit and my hair and everything, which is always nice. Cinderella was very excited to see me dressed up like her, and everyone, yeah, they were also excited. It was nice. I know but like I said, I was feeling so bad. There's not a whole lot of like real magical stuff to talk about. About the time I got out of that, it was actually time for Festival of Fantasy, so I decided to hang out and watch Festival of Fantasy come through, because they basically were blocking off the hub for Festival of Fantasy anyway. So I just hung out and watched that. I did, no, I didn't do that day. So yeah, so I hung out, watched Festival of Fantasy go by. It was really sad because Maleficent didn't come by again. And it was really confused because it's like she was here the other day and then she was just gone again. I don't know what happened to her. Maybe she was sick too. And then I got on the monorail and went off to the Contemporary for dinner at Chef Mickey's, which was actually, like, despite me not feeling well, one of the best dinners I had the whole trip, which I was not expecting, because I've never been to Chef Mickey. No, I've been for lunch and I've been for breakfast. I've never been for dinner. No, I take that back. Both times I've gone, I've been for breakfast. I had never been for lunch or dinner. And I decided to give lunch, dinner, whatever, a try. And I really liked it. The food was really good. I thought it was really good, but again, it's also very like comfort foody. Like I ate a lot of mac and cheese and chicken nuggets, which might have been just what I needed at that point. And they sat me again in a corner. And like I said, I'll do a solo dining video at some point, but I sat in a lot of corners, but a lot of times that wasn't a bad thing. But this one, I actually sat in the corner facing the window looking out over Bay Lake, which was really, over Bay Lake, looking out over Bay Lake, which was really cool. And it was just quiet and cute, and it was a nice little, like, chill moment, and I got to, like, watch the sunset over the lake, and it was very nice. And, like I said, the food was really good. The character interactions were great. They loved, like, this one, I don't remember if it was the server or the character handler or whatever, but Goofy came up and I was all in like my princess gear and everything, and he was like freaking out, and she's like, yeah, she got all dressed up for you, Goofy. And it was so cute. So definitely, like, if you're thinking about doing the character couture thing, I would definitely make sure you plan like a good chunk of your character interactions that day, because it's just a lot of fun, and they have like really great reactions and stuff to you and your princess or Mickey Mouse or Star Wars or whatever you're choosing to do for your character couture makeover. I definitely recommend planning some character interactions if that's your thing. And then that was pretty much the end of the day, because I decided I was going to go back to the room. I was originally going to go back to Magic Kingdom and try to catch the fireworks one last time. But because I wasn't feeling good, I decided to go back to the room and just try to like sleep it off, hoping I would wake up better in the morning, which of course is not what happened. And then day 8, I woke up and I was sick. There was no denying it. I texted my parents. I'm like, okay, here's your warning. Like, I'm sick. I'm coming home sick. That's all there is to it. So I pretty much didn't do anything that whole day. I got up, I had breakfast at Trattoria al Forno, which is on the boardwalk, and they have a character breakfast called Bon Voyage Breakfast with Rapunzel, Flynn, Eric, and Ariel, which is just cool, because how often do you get to meet, like, the boys? Like, you get to meet the Disney girls all the time, but you never get to meet the boys. And, like, the highlight, so I wasn't not feeling good this morning, and they also gave you a pastry plate. I ate, like, 2 bites off the pastry plate, and I did manage to eat my breakfast, but I was not feeling it while I ate my breakfast at all. But they like introduce all the characters in, and it's really cute, and they do this thing with like Rapunzel and Flynn where they go around and they like do the little I Have a Dream song or whatever, and they'll like ask different people at the tables like what their dream is, and I was so not paying attention because I was not there, like barely there. But they came up to me and they like asked me what my dream was, and I told them, and it was really cute and really fun. And Flynn was amazing. I don't know if he could tell I was like not feeling good or if he was just thinking something was going on because I was alone. But like he literally came and sat at my table for 5 minutes and just like had a conversation with me. And we got up and we took our picture, and he actually went and got someone to take our picture for us. And he was by far the highlight of that trip. That breakfast. Like, he was amazing. And I don't know who you were, and you're obviously not going to find yourself from watching this video, but seriously, you were amazing. And I really wish I would have, like, submitted a cast compliment from you or something now that I'm thinking back to it. But, like, yeah, you were awesome, and you definitely made my morning. So that was a good time. But I would do that again. I think I'm thinking about it maybe for another upcoming trip. But I would definitely do that one again. And like, I'd really like to give it a try too one more time, feeling a little bit more like myself. But one thing I forgot to mention on my way to breakfast is I saw an elusive Disney cat, but I didn't get a picture of him. I was so sad. But I got to Hollywood Studios. I took a bus from Riverside to Hollywood Studios thinking I was going to take a boat over to the boardwalk and everything like I did the other day when I went to Cape May. Except I was so early the boats weren't running yet. My reservation was at like 7:30. And I was trying to move it later and I couldn't. So I had the boats weren't running yet, and I'd already walked away from the buses. And at that time, and I don't know if it's fixed yet, but at that time the buses for Hollywood Studios were like a hike. You had to hike to get to them because they were redoing the bus depot up at the front of the park. And I didn't want to walk all the way back and then wait for a bus to the boardwalk and then go all the way around and below, because I was not feeling up to that. So I was like, you know what, I'm just going to take the walk. So I walked from Hollywood, and it was really nice. Like, even as bad as I felt, that was a great walk. Like, I highly recommend that. I did it once on one trip. I stayed at Yacht Club, my first like on-site trip, and I think we walked to Hollywood Studios one day, maybe not, but it's a really, really nice walk if you're up for it. And then like that early in the morning there was like nobody out, and it was really quiet and really peaceful, and I saw a Disney cat and I saw some ducks. So it was just, yeah, that was really nice, and I highly recommend it if you're in that area, or even if you're just like up early and looking for somewhere cool to go like take a walk that's not around your resort, or you know, the parks aren't open yet or whatever. I really recommend seeing if you can get like an early morning bus over there somehow, and just taking a nice little stroll along the boardwalk is always nice. So anyway, and then we did breakfast, and that was pretty much the morning. Then I went to Magic Kingdom. I was gonna go through Epcot and take the monorail over, but for some reason I didn't. I must have just been not feeling up to it. And I basically just decided to, oh no, it wasn't open yet. I finished breakfast early enough that I couldn't get into Epcot yet, and I knew I could just take a bus already to Magic Kingdom and then just hang out and wait. And by the time I got to Magic Kingdom, it would be open. So basically I just got on the bus and went off to Magic for the day. I had a dinner reservation. I think it was early again, like 4:30 or 5 o'clock, at Crystal Palace. And basically I ended up moving that up till noon to be lunch, because I was like, I really just want to go back to the room and sleep. I'm not going to do anything today. I don't feel well enough to get on any rides, and, you know, without making myself feel worse. So basically I just decided to do some last minute shopping because I had some gifts to get for some people back home. And then I just kind of bummed around until I got to my time to be my lunch reservation. I ate lunch, and then as soon as I was done, I think I stopped for a couple more pictures, and then I left and I went back to the room, and I just stayed in the room for the rest of the night. I do think I got up at one point and got dinner at the River Mill Cafe, which is like the like quick service restaurant at Riverside. And that was about the extent of that day. And then day 9, which was the last day in the parks, that one there was no way. Like, I should have probably just stayed in my room all day, but I had reservations and things to go to, and I wasn't going to miss them. So basically that morning I had breakfast at Garden Grill, and then I had a Festival of the Arts class at 3, I think it was. It was either 2:30 or 3 o'clock or somewhere in there. And I was going to try to make it from breakfast at 8. I'm pretty sure it was at 8. From breakfast at 8 all the way till like 4 or whatever. And then I was like, okay, and then I'll go, or 3. I think the class ended at 3 maybe. I forget now. But I was going to try to make it all the way and then go home after the class and then finish packing to go home and pass out. Well, I was not feeling the best during breakfast, but I will say Garden Grill is one of my favorite breakfasts at Disney, and the food was still good. I barely ate any of it, but it was still really good. I was so sad though, because I was like, it's so good, but I just can't eat it today. And the character interactions are always great, which are so fun. And then I was really excited this time because the last time I didn't get to sit on the first level where you can actually like really see the land ride and all that stuff. And this time I got in a booth in the first level, so that was really fun because I could see the ride when I went around. I think I went around twice maybe, because I was just taking my time. And you know, it wasn't super busy that early in the morning, and I didn't really have any goals at this point of getting anywhere for like a pre-park ride or anything like that. Like, I had done everything I needed to do in Epcot or wanted to do really, and I was just like, this was just kind of my chill out day. But then I had a fast pass for Living with the Land, I think at like 10 or 11, but I was done with breakfast by 9. And basically went and sat in the Seasons cafeteria and waited for the land to open. And then I went and rode that. I was going to wait till the fast pass, but I was like, it's open and it's like a 0-minute wait because nobody rope drops the land. I should say nobody rope drops Living with the Land. So people rope drop the land because they want to go on tour, and I just wanted to ride Living with the Land. So I actually got lucky though, because then I was leaving the park about the same time that my fast pass for Living with the Land was, and I got the alert saying that it was down and I got an anytime fast pass, and I was like, ha, I'm so glad I rode it this morning instead of waiting, because then I would have been really upset. But I ended up going back to my room until I had to come back. I think I came back about noonish for the class, and then I ate some lunch. I think I went back to Electric Umbrella again, ate a little bit, and then I got myself a slushie, I think, pretty sure. And then I went back to the Odyssey and did my other class. This one was so much better than the first one. It was a lot more informational. Like, they actually talked a lot about like the history of Disney animation and Ink and Paint Girls and how it all worked, and the art and the science behind it, I guess you could say. And it was like a class with like actual people who like worked at Disney, like they animated Little Mermaid and Mulan, and it was really cool to just get to work on that. And I made a Goofy. We painted a little Goofy thing. And then I was all like, oh yay, okay, we'll go home now and get some sleep. Class is over and I don't feel well and I need to finish packing and get some sleep and all this stuff. And they're like, well, you can't take your artwork with you. You have to come back for it later. And I was kind of like, oh, I just want to go and sleep and not do anything else today because I don't feel good. But that was not what happened. So I went back to the room after that and was like, okay, I think they said I could come make my artwork up at like 5 or 6 or something, and I was like, okay, I'll just come back later and pick it up. And we had these little tickets that we had, like, you know, like those little raffle ticket things that we had to bring back with us to pick up our artwork. Well, you see, I left my ticket in my room, which I didn't realize till I pulled into the bus station at Epcot. when I got there and went in my pocket and realized that the ticket wasn't there. Yeah. So I decided to go see if I could pick it up with just my name, because we had to write our names on them too. And when I got there, they're like, yeah, no, you need the ticket. And I was like, that's okay. I'm like, I didn't lose it. I know exactly where it is. I just left it in my room and thought I'd try before I went back. I said, well, I'll go back and get it and come back. So I did. Went back to the room, got the ticket, walked back to the bus stop, got on another bus, went to Epcot, picked it up. By this time it was dark and the Epcot lights were on, and I hadn't gotten a photo in front of like the Festival of the Arts topiary stuff at the front of the park, and they had a photo pass photographer out there, so I quick grabbed that photo pass photo, and you can, like, if you should be looking at it right now, and you can tell I was not feeling the bestest. And then basically went back to the room, and I'm pretty sure I stopped, got dinner, and then fell asleep. And that was pretty much the end of the trip. So it was a little rocky end, but it was a great trip overall. And then obviously the next morning it was travel day, and I just basically got up. I had 3 meal credits left over. So I basically went and I got 2 breakfasts because I wanted to try 2 things for breakfast and decided to just do them. So I got the make your own omelet, which was really good, and then because I felt like I just needed one last Mickey waffles, I got some Mickey waffles. And then I used the third one I exchanged for a bunch of Rice Krispie treats. And then I figured out, I thought I had used all my snack credits, but I hadn't. I still had a couple left, so I went and I got some candy and stuff from the gift shop, and and I put that in my carry-on. I checked in my bags and all that at Resort Airline check-in, and that was pretty much the morning that I left. Getting home ended up being a little interesting because there were some issues at the airport the day I left, and pretty much everyone's flight got delayed, and it was a little nervy that I might not have made it home the day I was supposed to, but I did, and I got lucky, and it all worked out in the end. A little extra bit of Disney magic as I left, and I was not miserable on the flight either, which was nice. So I got home about 4 hours later than I anticipated, but then basically I got home, said hi to my dad picked me up at the airport, and then I came home and I said hi to my parents, and then I was like, I'm going to sleep, and that is why I came home on a Saturday, so I didn't have to go to work Sunday morning. But that's it, guys. That was our trip. That was the January 2019 solo trip. And it's just like, now it really feels like it's over because now the vlogs are over too. So basically going forward, I'm going to take a little video break, probably till like mid-October, late October, no, early November at the latest. Just to try to get some stuff sorted and figure out where I want to go from here. I know I have some informational videos I want to film regarding solo traveling and vlogging, and just some thoughts I want to get out on camera, basically. So you'll see a lot more of like these types of videos where we just like have a sit and chat type situation. But yeah, so basically this will be the last video for a little bit while I kind of wrap my head around what I want to do next. The video schedule may change. I may cut down from every other week to once a month for a while. I just don't know exactly when I'll be back to like film vlogs and stuff, so I want to make sure I have content that I can share at least occasionally with you guys until I go back again the next time, whenever that is. Right now, the next trip I have on the books is actually in 2021, so it's a ways away, and means I basically have like a year of content to fill before, a little more than a year of content to fill before I have vlogs to share again. So we will see what happens there. So let me know if do you want me to try to keep up with the video schedule? Do you want me to go down to one a month? Do you have ideas of Disney topics you want me to talk about, planning things that you have coming up, or anything Disney related? I'll obviously keep an eye on Disney news too and see, you might get a news video every now and again. Maybe we'll do a D20 or a Disney Plus video in November, and I had, like I said, I have some wrap-up videos and thoughts and planning stuff that I want to film already. But yeah, so just so you know, I'll probably won't see you guys for a little bit while I kind of sort out where we're heading. Next, in this interim period of the videos and stuff, I have, I've thought about it a little bit, but I really need to like sit down and like plan it out and figure out where we're going. And then, yeah, so thank you so much, you guys, for listening to me ramble on endlessly for the last 6, 7, 8, 9 months. 9 months? I think it's been 9 months. Maybe 8. So thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for joining me on my solo adventure and my first vlogging adventure. And yeah, I don't know what else to say. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below. And I will see you again soon, and have a magical day.
Hiya, folks. It's me, Mickey Mouse.
And me, Minnie Mouse.
We sure are glad we got to meet you at Epcot today.
Oh my, that was fun, wasn't it?
It was. In fact, I think it might have been my favorite part of the day.
Oh, I know it certainly was mine.
Well, it's time for us to go. And thanks again for visiting us at Epcot.
Goodbye for now, and we'll see ya
Real soon!